What's up, everybody? I'm very sorry about the late upload. I don't know. I get in my head and I don't want to do things. I want to be lazy. Work's going great, but I'm getting more tired from my job than I thought I would, honestly. I mean, all I do is really just drive around, but it's tiring. I don't know how it is tiring, but it gets tiring, and I'm only training right now. So, I don't want to say it's rough. The job's pretty easy. I get to drive around all day, get to see Denver, and I get paid for it, get to work with AI. I'm in an emerging field, and 5 to 10 years from now, I mean, the work that I'm doing, it's going to be pretty standard, I guess. I mean, that's not really the way I want to put it, but the work that I'm doing now is going to be used a lot, especially here in Denver. Whenever the job starts going to other cities, it'll be there too, but we'll see what happens when that time comes. Other than that, I don't know. I like Denver. Things are going great here. Everything has just been falling in place, and I just need to keep going at it. Trying to keep myself occupied in my free time, playing Fortnite with my sponsee. He's, I don't know. He's a dummy, but I love him. uh, Things are great here at the house. It's almost Halloween. Here on the 1st is when my job training is over and we're actually going live, so I'll be by myself. That's very exciting. Can't wait for that. And yeah, I don't know. Good things are coming. I wanted to start off with a story, but I can't really think of one off the top of my head because I had a little plan for what I wanted this episode to be about from this. Oh, I don't want to call it a situation, but something happened this last week over the weekend and caught me a little off guard. But looking back on how I responded to it, I'm proud of myself. Very proud of myself for how I responded to it. I'll get into that a little bit more next week. But um, honestly, I've had a few people reach out and they were asking me about my spiritual life. So I think I'm going to make this video all about my spirituality, how I came to terms with my understanding of what gives me a purpose to live. I mean, that's all that spirituality is. It's finding a reason to live, something that is bigger than yourself. And I'm a firm believer that when people are using drinking for a very long time, that when they first get sober, they have a little bit of a, I can't remember the word off the top of my head. Oh my God, this is terrible. Existential crisis. Yeah. A lot of people, when they first get sober, especially after using drinking for so long, they have that existential crisis because their entire life was revolving around a substance, around a drink. And that's where a lot of people slip up, is not having some kind of spirituality life. I'm not saying you have to be religious. I'm not trying to sell a religion right now. I'm not religious at all. And I have found something that brings me peace. I do believe in God. A lot of people get me wrong when I say that I'm not religious. So they ask me, oh, well, why don't you believe in God? Who's to say I don't believe in God? Who's to say I don't believe in God more than you do? You just have a whole religion behind yours. But your understanding of God. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Everybody, I don't want to say everybody should be different, but everyone should have different beliefs because that's what makes America so great, really. That everybody has that freedom to be able to think and choose for themselves what they see as right in their own life. And I don't know. I was looking up some terms about it over this last summer, about like where I land. Okay, everybody knows what an atheist is. Atheists, they don't believe in anything. I don't know what else. I mean, there's a whole spectrum on that, I guess, when it really comes down to it. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. Agnostic, they're not sure if there's something there or if there isn't. Cool. A theist, not atheist, theist is someone that believes in a set religion and a god, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, I guess Hindu would be a theism also. But I found a word that stuck out to me and it feels more relatable to me. Um, deist. Deist, they believe in God, but they don't really feel that God has that kind of influence or power over their everyday life. And that's honestly where I feel like I'm at. A lot of people got mad at my first video because, I don't feel like I denounced Christianity. I willingly said, I spent an entire year deep diving into Christianity. And then I had people coming into my messages saying that I was wrong for saying that kind of stuff. And that's hurtful. I think that's very hurtful stuff to say. As long as I'm at peace, why does it matter what I believe? Is it really affecting you? I don't know. People are weird about all that. I was thinking about things to do this next weekend, and I found a few Buddhist temples out here in Denver, and I think I'm going to swing by one of them just to check it out, really. I'm open to that kind of stuff. I seen a cathedral. I want to check it out. I don't know if I'd go there for mass. I imagine it's Catholicism. Never been to a Catholic church in the U.S., but cathedrals themselves are just a beautiful, beautiful building. And I don't know, just trying to make plans for this weekend mostly. Very excited to see the Buddhist temples, Buddhist teachings. I have a Quran, I have a few Bibles. I don't have a King James Bible. I realized that last night. I got a Talmud. I had a Bhagavad Gita, the one of the Hindu Bibles books. But I've found peace. I'm still trying to figure out the right words for it. There's something out there, something that's washed over me in my life, because there have been plenty of times in my life where I shouldn't have come back. I should have fallen deeper into that addiction, deeper into that sadness, and I just never did. Times I should have died, and I never did. Maybe I did. Maybe, that's like weird, not paradox, multi dimensions. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's a whole like weird conspiracy about that. They say like when you come to a moment where you're about to die, you actually don't die. You come out of that situation, but in another split dimension, you end up dying. So that timeline is cut off. I don't know. Conspiracy, science, is it real? Is it not? I don't know. It's possible. I'm open to the idea of in the future, I do become religious. I'm keeping an open mind when it comes to any of that. And that's one thing that's always held me back from religion is that you can't ask questions, I feel like. You can ask questions, but you can't question the answers, I guess, is more the correct way to say it. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know. I'm trying to find that still. One thing I've noticed in my spirituality life is being present is a very important thing. And lately I have been distracting myself on the phone, watching reels, doom scrolling, all that. I downloaded a game today onto my phone, and I only have a few, very select few games on my phone. But I downloaded a game that I've seen all over Facebook ads, all that. And it's just a constant dopamine rush. Every time you click something, you're getting some kind of bonus, all that. It's just flooding you with all these gifts and stuff in the game, making you feel like you're special, whatnot. And I felt so disconnected. I, I felt connected to the game, but disconnected from everything else around me. The only thing I was focused on when I was playing that game was that game. I'm sitting here with my trainer. He's trying to talk to me about some pretty deep stuff, and I don't know. It felt disgusting. It took me a minute to actually put it away. I guess that's part of like the addict brain right there. But is this recording? Okay. Had to make sure it's recording. Spirituality comes in a lot of different ways for folks, though. A lot of people get religious. I tried it. Wasn't for me. Is Jesus Christ a real figure? I don't know. It doesn't keep me awake at night. Some people believe that, gems, minerals can bring you all sorts of power into your life. I do have gems. I do have rocks. I grew up with rocks. My grandparents in my hometown are very well known for their mineral collection that they have. They go on mining opal. They go on trips to mine opals once a year, and my grandfather has a huge, huge collection of opals. I grew up around that stuff, and I do have some minerals, rocks, crystals, whatever you want to call it. I don't go out under a full moon trying to recharge them. That's a little different, I guess. I'm not here to hate on anybody. Hmm. I had some notes written down on my phone. Hang on. One thing that I don't want to say I hate about making these videos, but I put everything on silent, my computer, my phone, and people just start blowing me up whenever I want to sit down and start recording something. Murphy's Law, I guess. I don't know, that's annoying. But so yeah, simple way putting spirituality is learning how to exist with depth instead of existing out of habit. And to me, that means, just living outside of myself, finding something bigger to live for. When I go on hikes, I went on my first hike this last weekend. Fucking amazing. I cannot wait to get out there more. But I tend to take a lot of pictures when I'm on hikes. I love to appreciate the nature. I love all that. But sometimes, you just gotta sit there, and like just really soak it in. Just being present in the everyday is a huge thing. Listen to the sounds. The art of noticing the outside world is amazing. My cousin, Keith Coffey, he passed away when he was 18. The day of his 18th birthday, he was really sick, went to the hospital. 7 days later, he ended up passing away. He was like a brother to me. But one thing he told me one time, that has stuck with me for a very long time, was that when you look up, the world is a lot bigger. And I don't know. I'm not perfect when it comes to finding happiness or just being personally satisfied, but that's one thing that always reminds me, when I find myself in those dark spells, is just to look up, you know. Sometimes when I'm out there, out back smoking a cigarette, I will focus all my attention on these little millipedes I found. They're small compared to the ones I've seen on the Pacific Northwest, but yeah, you got little millipedes that are crawling across the ground. It's like 40 degrees out, I'm surprised these guys aren't freezing or hibernating. I don't know if millipedes hibernate, but just watching them do their thing, that's nature right there. Nature can be someone's God. Love can be someone's God. Someone's higher power could be, just the aspect of love, the wind. There's so many beautiful, powerful things in this world, and I don't know, I'm going on weird rants, weird spiels again. Spirituality comes in a lot of different ways. It's not about being perfect, it's more about being present, I guess, in my opinion. It's good to read spiritual books. If you want to be religious, but actually be about it. I honestly feel that if Jesus was alive today, that most modern American conservatives would hate him. That's just my own belief right there. I'm not trying to sell anybody a religion. I don't know. I feel like that's gonna make some people mad, but people get mad about the littlest things nowadays. Spiritual life in plain terms is one where you stop running from yourself, look for meaning instead of distractions, and live with a little respect for the fact that you even get to be alive. And I'm not perfect at that. Like I just mentioned earlier in this video, I'm still trying to find distractions in this world. Sometimes I come back home, I lay on my bed, and I just doom scroll on all these different apps for whatever reason, I mean, just trying to find a distraction. I got so many things that I can do to keep myself busy, to develop my personal life. I got art I can work on. I got the music I could start playing with. I got the guys at the house I could actually talk with. I got people in my inboxes that I could actually write and engage with. But no, I want to be selfish in that aspect, with my time and waste it. I drank a soda before I did this video, and I gotta remember not to do that because I have been burping or been I've been burping, and I had to retake this video a few times just because um I was burping in the earlier takes. It's funny. I think it's fucking hilarious. I don't know. I hate these awkward pauses I do. Still trying to figure out, I mean, what's going to make me happy at the end of the day, when all of this is said and done, this moment right now, am I going to regret wasting my time just doom scrolling? I think so. I don't know why I do it so much. I'm not getting anything out of it. Maybe little tidbits of information that are completely fucking useless in the big scheme of things. And it's just weird. It's weird that we live in a world nowadays that we have complete access to the entire scope of all known human history, human knowledge, and we're watching some of the most ridiculous skits, rants, just some of the most ridiculous stuff. It's just to entertain ourselves. I don't know. I guess it is a sad world. I mean, you watch a lot of the news, and it's always just sad stories. And then I guess I can't blame myself for wanting to find a little bit of peace or a little bit of happiness in the midst of all this chaos that's going on nowadays. And I'm not going to get political. Last thing I want to do on this channel. But I don't know. This whole year on the political scale, not just in the USA, in the entire world, has been very volatile. And it's hard to really think that there's going to be a tomorrow, in my opinion. But that's why I do feel lucky that I'm alive right now. Anything can happen, especially here in the big city. I've had a few almost instances where almost get into a car crash. Who's to say that it's not going to happen tomorrow? I hope it doesn't. I got a whole life I do want to live. I have plans for the future that I want to go fall through with. I don't want to die on my kids and die on my kids and have them to know that something happened like that to me. And I don't know. Spirituality comes in many, many ways. And one of the biggest parts to sobriety is finding whatever path spirituality looks like to you. All I can say in my experience is that spirituality is about being present. It's about finding something that is greater than you and brings you peace. I'm still not perfect at that. I'm still trying to find peace. I'm going to find it one day. I'm getting closer to it. Every single day that goes on, I feel more comfortable. And it's weird to say that because this is the longest. I drink caffeine, use nicotine products, and those are the only two substances that I'm taking nowadays. I mean, I take some what's called multivitamins, shilajit, ashwagandha, some kind of mushroom blend. Nothing psychoactive, but it's weird. It's still just so baffling to me to see how my brain works completely sober, away from mind altering substances. Still just trips me out. I'm still trying to figure that out. And I hope people that are watching this do get to see my growth. I mean, I'm starting to see my growth already. The first few videos I did, I'm not staring at the camera because it's awkward to me. I know I feel like I'm staring at the camera more nowadays, or what, this is only, yeah, video 4, episode 4, but it's all a process. And people that are watching this, thank you for tuning in and checking this out. It means a lot to me, and I promise you, I will be uploading as much as I can. Some days when I want to upload, it's just hard, you know. Eventually, I'll get more into spirituality next week. Um, Next week, the topic is going to be about liking the person that you see in the mirror. And that kind of just stems from this whole situation that happened earlier this week, you know, and it's not a bad situation. It's honestly amazing how I responded to it, you know, because the old me would have been totally different and would have been a terrible fucking person, really bitter, all that. And yeah, I'm not going to get too much into the situation, but that'll come when it needs to. This is going a little over the time I wanted to, but I'll check you guys out later.